Let me ask you something before we begin. Have you ever reached the end of a long, busy day and still felt like the most important things never got done? The modern distraction overload, messages, emails, notifications, deadlines. By the end of the day, we're tired, but not always fulfilled. Busy versus productive. The core problem. That's because being busy isn't the same as making progress. Real progress comes from focusing on what truly matters. Welcome to Mind Matters Expert. And today, we're going to talk about how to prioritize what matters most by focusing on meaningful tasks together. Why we feel overwhelmed every day. Here's the truth. Most of us don't struggle with a lack of tasks. We struggle with having too many tasks competing for our attention. When everything feels urgent, important work gets pushed aside. Stress starts to build. Days blur together. And, long-term goals slowly drift further away. That's where prioritization changes everything. It helps you take control again. It helps you decide where your time and energy actually belong. So what do we really mean when we talk about meaningful work? Meaningful tasks are the ones that move your life forward. They're often quiet. They don't always demand attention. But honestly, they matter deeply. So here are some examples of meaningful tasks. These are the things that, really shape your future. Working toward a long-term goal, learning a valuable skill, planning, thinking, creating, taking care of your health, and, of course, building strong relationships. The thing is, meaningful tasks don't always feel urgent, but honestly, over time, they make the biggest difference. And really, the first step to prioritizing them is getting clear, because you just can't prioritize what you're not clear about. Questions that create direction can really change the way we look at our lives. So ask yourself, honestly, what am I really working toward right now? What do I want to improve in the next few months? And what matters most in my life at this stage? The power of clear direction is, pretty incredible. Clarity makes decisions easier. When you know your direction, distractions just lose their power. Now here's something important to remember. Not everything urgent is important. Sometimes, certain things just seem to demand our immediate attention, but honestly they don't really add much value. And then, there are other things that might not feel urgent at all. Yet, those are often the ones that truly matter the most. So this is where prioritization really becomes practical. You start by doing the urgent and important tasks first. Then, you make it a point to intentionally schedule the important but non-urgent ones. And of course, you try to minimize or delegate whatever you can. You see, most meaningful work actually lives in that important but not urgent space, and honestly, that's exactly why it needs to be protected. Another mistake many of us make is trying to do too much in one day. Trying to do everything leads to burnout. Instead, slow it down. Choose 1, 2, maybe 3 truly important tasks for the day. Finish those first, because even if nothing else gets done, you'll still know the day mattered. And let's talk about something that's often uncomfortable. Saying no. Every yes costs you time, and time is limited. Saying no isn't rude, it isn't lazy, it's intentional. When you protect your time, you protect what truly matters most in your life. Of course, meaningful work also needs space. Real focus. Not multitasking, not constant interruptions. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Block time on your calendar. Give your full attention to one thing at a time. Even a short, focused session can create real progress, far more than hours of distracted effort. And remember, priorities aren't fixed forever. Life changes. Responsibilities shift. That's why reflection matters. Each week, just take a moment to ask yourself, what mattered most this week? What actually moved me forward? And what distracted me without adding value? Reflection keeps you aligned with your goals instead of just drifting through your days. So here's the big takeaway. You don't need to do more. You need to do what matters. When you focus on meaningful tasks, work feels purposeful, stress decreases, and progress becomes visible. Your time is valuable. Spend it wisely, not on what's loud, but on what truly matters. Thanks for watching Mind Matters Expert. If this video added value to your day, give it a like, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe for more practical mindset and growth content. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear how you're applying these tools in your life. See you next time. Stay focused and stay empowered.